I think the girls with their nails done now.
Hey guys, I am doing a commentary on this one actually. So this is my third devlog for the Atlas framework, and I felt like I wanted to do a voiceover because I actually did quite a lot since my last episode, which was devlog 2, where basically I just had a bunch of my recordings and then just put them all into one video and put a song over it and ribbed along. But last time you saw my game, I had programmed in a sniper rifle. Yes, I know this is a pistol, it's a placeholder. Do not worry about that, okay? I put a scope and it zooms in and everything. But I started doing a lot more things visually this time. I got a bit tired of all the coding. I mean, I did do coding while I was doing the visual stuff because I needed to make it look nice and be able to use it properly. So I'll show you what I did. Okay, so let's hide this. That stays there because that's a shop. I created a block out for my level. Whoops. Some things are missing. Where is it? No, where is it? Okay, power core room. Beep. And decoration. Yep. Okay, so this is what I had, this is the block out for the alien ship level. I forgot to re-enable the walkway there or my character will fall. But, so, I added a block out, so this is roughly how the level's gonna look. So this is where you're gonna be able to walk around. Obviously, this is not the final shape. I'm thinking of creating a bunch of extensions. Like, I'm gonna move the entirety of this area, which is like the med bay area, I think. I think I left this as the med bay or life support room. Yeah, so the life support room is gonna get moved around and shifted, so we get these large corridors where we can have like cool as firefights and places to hide out in. But one thing I wanted to make my levels be unique was having secret corridors. Like, I even named it secret corridors. But basically secret corridors within each room. So you can you can go from one room to another, even on a different floor, so you get like a bit more traveling area, I guess. This is influenced by if you guys remember in Halo CE, the first mission where you go into that little very tight corridor space to get to the other spot in the ship, and it's like really dark and it's like really cool though. That's what I was wanting to recreate. So we got like corridors that go from like the life support room to the corridor, or another corridor, the secret corridor that goes to the cargo bay. There's one where it's from the engine room that drops down into the cargo bay, and a few other ones. I need to add a bit more. Like, there's another corridor one that goes back into the cargo room. I think this is where the ammo is held. Ammo storage, yeah. So, and this is all the living quarters. You got the bridge up here. I'm kind of like getting influences like from like Halo, Borderlands, the Sanctuary ship. Kind of like the layout of that, but not obviously a copy. And a lot of Warframe, because Warframe's Corpus tileset remake they've done is amazing, and I really like a lot of the level design they've done in there, where like their long quarters aren't like just one level. There's bits where you can go downstairs and like look at these other things and go up, and like there's a bunch of different inclines within the one corridor space they've created. I'm saying corridor a lot. I'm gonna start saying it incorrectly soon. But there's like a lot of spaces for the hallways, and it's like really cool. So I'm influencing off those types of games. Eventually this place will look good. I have started working on the 3D models and lighting and everything for the areas that I know I'm not gonna change because it's already quite a large room, like this power core. So let me start showing off what I've done. Okay, so I'm gonna get these guys and boof them out of here. What else do I need to disappear. Yeah, that all looks good. I'll turn off the lighting. I'm gonna have to rebake the lighting as well, so you might have to wait a while. So, purple lighting, because I put a purple looking planet in the sky. It's a spaceship and it's moving at speed, so I'm gonna add like VFX for like stars or something. Let's see. Let me make this smaller and easier to look at. God damn, I put a lot of crap in here. Okay, first one is this corridor. I have spent probably a week or two getting this to look nice. So you got these like nice alieny pillars, a cool roof with indirect lighting, but when I tried to do some ray tracing, and yes, there's ray tracing in this game, it just didn't look right, because I'm not gonna use global illumination. It is really expensive, so I'm just gonna stick to the recursive rendering and ray trace reflections. So I had to like move a bunch of put in a bunch of area lights and have it shoot down into the ground so it would illuminate the room at least, so it wouldn't be dark as hell, because this level is kind of dark. It's just visually dark. So I built the corridors. I added some piping. I've been playing Marvel's Avengers, and the AIM laboratories have these like pipes underneath the ground that you can see, so I was like, oh, why don't I do a bit of that? And honestly, it looks alright. I think I should make this a matte black, so it's more like a dark void you're looking into, and then you see these pipes. Let's show off the other room. This is the big one. Bam. So I added a power core and these energy pipes, and this is animated, like not the VFX here, but there are these like energy rings that go from the bottom to the top that are animated. And it looks super cool. Don't worry about, ooh yeah, I forgot to get rid of that. Wrong one. This guy. And beam. Okay, so to make, oh shit. To make the visuals consistent, I also added the flooring that I used in the corridor extend all the way into here, and then they transition into this floor. So it just looks a lot nicer and consistent. These are all custom 3D models I made, like I spent a lot of time making. These are roughly like my first 3D models ever as well. And these textures are from two places. I've been using the online texture downloader and some assets from online to get some PBR stuff, so I can like create PBR textures as well, so they look nice, because when you're doing HDR stuff, you want to create textures that are PBR, or it just won't look right with the lighting Unity does. So let me go to materials. And to make good PBR textures, you need a base map, a mask map, and a normal map at the minimum. And the mask map is probably the most annoying thing, where you need like a bunch of, let's see, this guy. Metalness? No. Wait, previews? No. I think it's this. Yeah. You need a bunch of texture maps. And I did not know how to create a mask map, because you need like Photoshop or something that's channel editing, and I got Krita, but I couldn't figure out how to use it. So I went, I gave up on it for a while, and then I found an asset called Channel Packer, where you can get a bunch of textures and you can pack it into a mask map, and then it will work as you want. So you just press input, give it texture, pick if it's a red channel, if it's a blue, if it's a green channel, you also have to make it green here, so it, you know, functions as you need. So if you're doing red, you do red. If you're doing green, you create a new one and you pick green and green. If you're doing blue, blue and blue, and alpha, alpha and alpha, and then you'll be good. And it'll work perfectly fine. And that's how I made these nice looking carbon fiber-ish texture. It's clearly not carbon fiber, it's a metal weave. If I could get rid of like this bit here, it would probably look like carbon fiber, honestly, but it looks pretty good on its own. So let's do a nice Oh, I should probably generate some lighting. So I have an RTX 3070, so I'll show you some RTX stuff, so DXR going on. Okay, lighting has generated, so it's way brighter now. I need to turn down the lighting in this corridor though, because it's extra bright. So you got screen space reflection, so you see the bars kind of extend into the reflection, which is super nice. And you got the power core, which is actually one of my grenades that one of the grenades I made. It's basically that, but enlarged and orange, and it's pretty cool. And I spent a long time screwing around with the transparency effects, so you could see the VFX through transparent objects, because for some reason, HDRP doesn't like working as expected, I guess you could say. And so it took a long time to finally get proper transparency effects. So this effect you're seeing, where the side of the glass just gets illuminated, is not a custom shader effect, but me setting this box. Okay, let's look at the material. I'll show you what the material is. Power core shielding. Okay, so it's a transparent effect, but what I did was I changed the refraction model for this to a sphere and put it at 1.5. It's clearly a box, but the effect it creates is awesome. And I added a normal map. It's one of the normal maps I also found for free on the asset store. It was like a bunch of normal maps, like 18 seamless normal maps, I believe it's called. Something like that. And I just used it because it looked quite nice. And you wanted to make it look like it's shielding. And you got the planet creating like this cool purple effect. Obviously, that purple effect won't be on the interior as prominently, because it's going to be a closed air space, because it is a ship. So the only time you'll see that purple tinge is from like windowed areas, like maybe the living quarters, which I'm gonna have to make way bigger, because I'm gonna have to like create custom 3D assets for like beds and tables and chairs and stuff. That's gonna take forever. But yeah, let's have a quick walk around now, because I'm done explaining materials and like hard stuff. I can actually, once this game is built, it actually almost hits 240 FPS with my computer, which is a Ryzen 5 2600X and a 3070. Yeah, the Ryzen isn't fast enough for the 3070, and I do need to buy a new CPU, but I mean, it's doing a good enough job for now. And this place looks awesome. It looks very sci-fi-y, doesn't it? And these pipes you see are gonna go to those engines over there. That's the engine room. So you're going to see basically this pipe of flipped downwards and then sideways. That's because it'll be transporting energy from this power core up that way and down in there and into the engine. I'm going to have to create like a custom engine, I guess. And it's cool. So, I guess I need to show the most cool thing about this is, because I have an RTX card, it's really hard to see. Actually, let me look at something that's bright. Okay, you can see it better now. I created an option where you can toggle ray tracing on and off. So what I do is I click ray tracing, and then you get two options. And so you get ray trace reflections, which is basically ray trace reflection. So you can see the bean, which is my character, and all the pillars and walls that stay consistently up when you look away, so it's clearly not screen space. And I'm still getting 60 FPS, which is also awesome with my hardware. So you can get ray tracing at 60 FPS. So there's a lot of reflections that are hard to see, like on this, with like the standard rendering. So if I move to, this is gonna be a big one. Watch this. Okay, so I'm going to turn off ray trace reflections and turn on recursive rendering. Boom! Look at that! The FPS is a little, it tanks a little bit more, so I'm getting somewhere between like 40, 20, even 30. A bit inconsistent. I'm going to have to like, I am also recording with Audacity and OBS, so my FPS is much lower than it usually is. I'm usually getting like a smooth 60 most of the time. But look, clearer reflections. This is with only recursive rendering. There's no point turning ray trace reflections on when you have recursive rendering on, and you get this amazing lighting. Currently, Unity does not support VFX while ray trace, so you do lose out on the cool visual effects that I added. So if I turn this off, you get that. If I turn it back on, you lose that, but you gain what is basically realistic materials and textures, which is amazing. You get like these cool distortion effects on rounded edges, and because it's given a sphere, it just you know, improves cool effects and whatnot. And I'm really happy at how this game is looking. Like, I'm gonna spend some time coding, then I spend some time doing some visual stuff, because you want to mix the two of them or you will get bored on your game. And it looks really cool, doesn't it? Look at that. It's so pretty. And there's a big ass planet over there. And here's my scope. It does freak out a little bit when you're moving around. But it's fine. DLSS is coming to Unity in the next 2021 version. It's like 2021.2 or something, where we finally get DLSS. So I'll be eventually working with that, so you get even more performance with your lower end RTX cards. Because I have a 3070, I can't tell how well it'll run with 3080 or 90. And because it's also 3070, I cannot tell you what it'll be if you have an RTX 2060 for the ray tracing effects. You might not be able to do a lot of this. Maybe you'll be able to just run standard reflections, which on its own, actually, a lot of people probably prefer to run the game like this with RTX. Like, a lot of people play like this if you don't have RTX, but people with RTX will probably just play it like this, because you still get the ray trace reflections, you still get the VFX, and it looks more accurate to what I'm trying to do. While when you switch to recursive, you get something that looks so much nicer, but is missing some key visuals, which are the VFX. So, I guess that's what I wanted to show off today. I also did work on creating custom resolutions. It sometimes doesn't work. I need to build the game out for it to function, but I can go into low, and it loses basically reflections almost entirely. I forgot to rename this, but that's supposed to be like very low, and it will look not great. I think that's a bug I should probably sort out, because I shouldn't really have reflections here. I believe I turned them off in the settings for low. And you can still turn on reflections, and it will still run really well. Did I turn it on or off? You can still use recursive rendering on my low preset, which is low is like, it's supposed to be written very low, but like its asset is cranked all the way down, so you should be able to run this game at least on a potato. Like, say if you've got, I don't know, like a GTX 780 or something, you should be able to run it perfectly fine. Like a 1050, it should be good. Yeah, I guess that was it. The game looks pretty good. I'm a bit happy, and I just wanted to show off how much I've done, because I'm impressed with how much I've been accomplished. Like, I ain't very skilled at my programming, and I was pretty decent at like visual stuff, and so here's some visual stuff. Something impressive to look at, because the other two, it was just like a plane with a bunch of angles in it, and I was shooting a bunch of stuff. I was like, here's all I've done, here's all my technical stuff. But here's all my visual stuff. Now imagine what this would look like once I'm done. And ray trace, it's gonna look pretty as hell. So I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be like number 4. Or me re-recording this, because maybe OBS wasn't able to record properly because of the taxing how heavy it was on performance that it just couldn't record properly. Who knows? But like and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, because I'll be constantly uploading this whenever I can, and when I've done enough work to go warrant another videos like, oh my god, look at this big step up. I'm not gonna make videos on like incremental changes, because then you won't see, you know, large chunks of development movement, I guess. Like, there won't be as much progression. So if I'm doing it when I get a bunch of stuff done and go, hey, I've done all this, you feel like I've done something. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.
I think the girls with their nails done now.